And the four words that kick off the best part of every week. Buonasera a tutti. Good evening, everybody. And we are back. What's the scoop once again? And just obviously, my introduction myself, I'm Scoop. And passing it around, I always say that if I'm the one who started the show, these two are the reason that it's still going on 2 years later. To my left, I've got my buddy, my former pirate, Brandon
There you
Furtado.
go.
Yeah.
Good win today,
Which,
boys. Good win. Good
yeah,
win.
I mean,
UW
that's
lost, so I'm
that's
rooting for
exactly
you
what
guys the rest of the way.
yeah, that's why I wanted to highlight that. Brandon, how you doing, buddy?
You know what? Today was a pretty good day. Not just for Seton Hall, but for myself. I did a lot today. I don't want to go into all of it. Well, I'll run it down real quick. Got my car inspected around lunchtime. Came
Nice.
home, went bowling around 2 o'clock.
Whoa.
Yeah, baby. Bowling.
came
Did you bowl
bowled.
good?
First game, yes. Second game, for some reason, the ball was just slipping off my fingers, and my hand was getting
So
dirty.
so
Like,
the
I just
ball so the ball's the Baltimore Ravens. Great.
yeah. But the first
Oh,
game,
don't even get me started there.
I'm a decent bowler for like just being an average Joe that doesn't like actually practice or whatever. So I'm not that bad. Like my high for an average game is like 140, 150.
That's not bad at all.
And then that's for somebody that doesn't spin the ball, that doesn't do all that pro bowler crap.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do that today though. I mean, I'm a little rusty, but it was still good. I won the first game. My grandfather actually won the second game.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And he doesn't bowl at all. And yet this was the first time he's been bowling in like 15 years, and he went off. So we did that. Went out to eat. What was that? Around like 4. Went to eat at 4. Came home around 5:45. I took a shower and I'm here now. So literally, I have not stopped since like 10 o'clock this morning.
And we're not done after this show. We still got football after
And-
hours
And
after
of
this.
course, Seton Hall won today. So we got
Yes.
one down and 2 more to go.
Yes. All right. So congrats on the split, no pun intended, of the games today. You guys heard it. You guys heard it here first. The rest of the evening. Who do you think you are? Brandon is. All right. And with that,
Yes.
we went from the beast of the east, and we're going to the best of out west. Mr. Brandon Zalossi, how you doing, brother?
We've said Brandon and then my last name. This was
He's
not
listen.
fun.
He's still confused about that visual we had with the graphic that Kenny did for us, where it's me and you combined.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're broken
Sorry.
about the visual.
Mr.
I am-
Robert Zalossi, how you doing?
I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well. I haven't been doing well for about 2.5 weeks. I'm not doing okay. This is not fun, man. I'm
Oh,
not
man.
having a good time. Why does crap happen when I'm ill, man? Why does this stuff happen when I'm ill? What is going on? Italy beats America. I wanted to throw my phone across the room. I was so pissed off.
You were literally like, you didn't stop calling me. I was like, I'm in the shower. I'm not watching this thing.
I
You're
was
like,
so
no.
angry.
You're
And
like,
then Mark,
I have to
and then
think.
and then you had Mark DeRosa basically saying, "Oh, I thought we already had clinched it."
Oh, we'll
Yeah,
get to that.
which killed me. And then at the same time, so that happened. So crap always happens when I'm ill. Yesterday, I go to church with a buddy of mine. Really fun time, honestly, really good time. And I'm on the bus, right? And so, by the way, I was gonna do the show with you and Kenny Scoop yesterday, but
Okay.
I was scared, and I'm scared now. I don't know how my throat's gonna handle today. I don't know I don't know what's gonna happen, because I went to bed at 8:30 last night, guys. I can't sleep. I can't
man.
sleep. I can't, like, I was like, okay, I have energy. I gotta let this ride for as long as it can until I'm dead, until I'm, asleep. And so that's what happened. And then obviously doing all of this background stuff here, I can't do anything until late because of free agency. I don't know what's gonna happen. I can't do stuff
Yeah.
until like last minute. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks on top of, and then I wasn't able to watch the conference tournament. So I have the conference tournaments on right now.
Okay.
But basically, So I go to church yesterday. I take the bus up to my former college. Met my friend there. Um, and I lost it. That was like officially just I was done because so buses have a very like you know how a bus is, right? Like a public transit bus, how weird it
Yeah.
is. There was this woman to the left of me just going, holding a blanket, going, ugh, 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 the entire time. The entire time for like an hour, for like 40 minutes. And then, so that's going on to the left of me. And then right in front of me, this woman, I don't have a visual. This woman like takes out a container,
Oh God.
takes out, this is like in front of me, takes out the container, pulls out the top of it and starts licking it. I'm like, what is that? What is hold on. I'm like, wait, what is going on here? I'm like, what is she? Was she having sour cream? What is she having? So I like look, I kind of lean over. I'm like, what is that? It's vanilla and caramel ice cream. This giant ass tub, like this big, of vanilla and caramel ice cream, and she's going, just
Oh,
licking
God.
it. And I'm like, what has my life come to? I'm ill. Italy won. I can't move. I can't watch the conference tournaments. I can't sleep. And to top,
you just can't. Period.
I can't. Period. I go. I go to church. It was amazing. It was so nice to just relax for a day and do nothing and just go to church and have a good time. But before that, I see a woman just licking vanilla and caramel ice cream, and I'm like, I'm done. My life is over. Like I've completed life. I did it. We're good.
I'm so glad I had dinner and ate and had dessert before I came out tonight because that would
Yeah. I was gonna say I was planning on getting ice cream later. I might go with cookies instead. All right. So two very different experiences over the last couple of days. It sounds like, and
It
guys,
sounds like, bro.
what?
was.
Well, I know. I mean, I was being a little bit. What do you call it? I was being a little bit disingenuous there. But guys, in the words and to paraphrase the greatest Chicago Cubs player of all time, Mr. Ernie Banks, what a beautiful day for a podcast. So let's do two. We've got What's the Scoop on now, and we've got coming on later. We've got Football After Hours being joined by our friend Coach Shane Hansen from whatever vacation he's on these days.
He's not on vacation. He's not on vacation. He was gonna play baseball. His high school team was gonna do baseball yesterday, but guess what happened? It was pouring rain.
Oh,
It was pouring cats and dogs. It rained out. Opening day. Rained out.
Oh, that sucks.
How bad is that?
Oh, that sucks. Well, yeah, last night, I mean, down here, we had one of the worst thunderstorms I'd seen in recent memory, and the damn fire alarm went off in the middle of it.
Oh, it was all over. It was bad over here, too.
How bad was it for you, Scoop? Did you actually get 70-mile-an-hour winds?
We had a tornado not too far south of us.
Holy crap, dude! I'm glad you're safe. Jesus, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it was loud. I mean, it was funny as hell. Pringles slept through the entire damn thing except for my weather bug alert going off. That woke her up somehow. But with that, real quickly, gonna get to the comments real quick. Nikki saying hi, Scoops, Brandon, and Rob. Nikki's asking Rob, have you had Tonight Dough with Jimmy Fallon? I have no.
I have not had Tonight Dough. It's been on my list for a while. I need to go and find it. I don't know where it is I don't know what supermarket has it for me locally.
It's his ice cream, isn't it?
It's his ice cream, yeah, and it's cookie dough. But it's apparently really good. And I haven't had it. I need to.
We have this place near us called The Yard, and you guys ever heard of that Wicked Good cupcakes that was on Shark Tank? Those like cupcakes in a jar.
Yes, yeah.
So it's basically think that, but it's half cake, half cookie dough.
That's amazing.
Oh, it's fire! I've only gotten it once since I moved here, but I'm going to get it a second time very soon. And Nikki says we'll start off the football talk with this. Thoughts on Dallas trading away Obe? I don't know how to pronounce his full name, to be honest with you, for a third round pick.
I love what Dallas did. I thought Dallas did a good job. They just were like, okay, now here's the issue. Jerry Jones is always ever free agency being like, we're going to spend money. No, you're not. You're going to hemorrhage money and
Yeah.
save money, which is what they did. So if I just
Yeah.
ignore Jerry Jones' stupidity, it was a good day. It was a good week. But I'm not going to ignore stupidity. So D+ because he's stupid. And he thinks that, and he's like, we're going to go spend. No, you're not. You're going to restructure contracts and keep the same roster.
Kick the can down the road.
Kick the can down the road, which is good. Every team should kick the can down the road. And so restructure contracts, but draft well. If you're going to get picks, draft well. Do something in the draft. That's how I feel about Dallas right now. It should be a B. It should really be an A+. Honestly, it should be a B+, but it's a D+ because Jerry Jones is an idiot saying he's going to spend money when he's really just fixing money.
If it was any other team, I'd be like, oh, good job. But because it's Dallas, I'm like, oh, do I trust Dallas to actually do anything with this? No. Like, so I'm like, is it good on one hand? Yeah. But, I mean, when you think about Dallas gaining a draft pick out of that, they've hit on their draft picks, especially their first rounders for the most part in recent memory. But I can't see a world where I think it's going to matter all that much. I mean, like they're just doing stuff to me to kind of it's just asset management. Is all it is.
Yeah, it's just asset management.
But at the same time, they have to because at some point
they have to. Yeah.
And honestly, to get a draft pick out of it is not a bad thing because that draft pick could develop into something special down the road. So. You and you got to realize that a lot of your guys on this team are not getting any younger, especially like guys like Dak, who are literally in their 10th year, which is crazy to believe. But
he's also got some not to go too much down the TMZ route, but sounds like he's got some personal issues going on off the field right now.
Oh yeah. So that's they kind of have to do a little bit of both asset configuration, locker room configuration, a whole bunch of stuff going on. So we'll see.
Yeah, it sounds like you could use some marital vows reconfiguration as well.
Speaking of that, Dallas signing another QB. They signed Sam Howell. They want to give Joe Milton competition and the backup spot. Yeah. And Sam Howell.
I think Joe Milton could be traded. Honestly,
I love Joe Milton. I don't know.
I do too, but I do think he could be traded.
He has a cannon. One of these two are going to get moved. It just depends. So the thing is, like, they want to see Joe Milton, like what his potential actually is, and that's what Sam Howell gives them. The question that I have though, and this is what happens in camp all the time with quarterbacks, is sometimes they'll keep all three of them, maybe add a fourth, and then keep them through preseason. Yeah. I don't know how likely that is. I could see a move being made between one of these two quarterbacks in the middle of camp because I feel like they'll make a decision really quickly. I feel like they'll make a decision really quickly. But again, I don't think it's massive because I think they just want to see if Joe Milton can actually do something for them and how much. And I think they also in a position. I'll put like a 10% mark on this. I think 10% they want to look for their future post Dak.
Yeah.
In some way.
Oh yeah.
Because of the money and whatever. Not that they're going to get rid of Dak anytime soon, but I'm thinking in like 3 years they're going to have to think about it more succinctly, and this is part of that process.
Sorry.
So, but even considering, but then they have to figure out what Joe Milton is this year, because if they don't like it, they can go in the draft next year and get a really good quarterback. So they need to figure it out this year. And that's what you're going to see a lot of teams with these backup quarterback kind of mismatches across the league. Because if they don't like their backup option, they can potentially sign a late round starter or draft a late round starter in 2027. That's how good that class is.
I agree with most of what you said, but I'm gonna change. I'm gonna disagree with you on one. You push back on one thing. I agree with you on everything, including the part where you said you think they're going to start looking at the post-Dak world. However, I disagree with your timeline. You said in the next 3 years or so. I think it's going to be shorter than that.
I
I think
think
because
I'm saying 3 is a tight time. It could be 2. It could be
I
2. Yeah.
if you look, because I looked at Dak's contract a little while ago. If they do, I mean, we've heard it a million times over the last week. The post June 1st trade or cut, right? They do that as soon as next year. They're $45 million off the hook. So if they post June 1st him last year and go into the draft thinking they can get somebody in that draft and they fall in love with somebody in that class that's as lauded as you mentioned, if that class doesn't fall on its face in the next year, Spencer Rattler style, and Cardell Jones style, to go a little bit of a throwback. If they do fall, or specifically Jerry Jones, because his opinion is the only one who matters in Dallas.
And Steven, because Steven runs the back end. Steven runs the
Yeah,
roster.
I still think if it still comes down to a war of opinions between the two, I still think Jerry overrules him.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, regardless of all that, I think that this could very well be either Dak's last year in Dallas or his penultimate year in Dallas. If they decide to run it back with him 1 year next year, and one thing or another, but. They can. I just want to point that out. They can post June 1st either trade or cut him next year, and they'll be freeing up $45 million in cap. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring this up really quick. I want to make some rule changes due to the Max Crosby thing. We are going to change the NFL free agency. We're going to change it. No more pre-tampering period.
Thank you.
It's stupid. It's really stupid. No more pre-tampering period. League year starts. I'll give you 3. That's fine. I'll give you 3 days to do a physical, but announce the deal and make it official as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Give me a 48-hour turnaround, not a 56-hour turnaround. No, they're out. Nikki asked, will Dallas still be in the running for Crosby? Every team's out. Because basically the Dallas doctor is the primary surgery doctor. He's the new big wig in the NFL.
Yeah.
He did not like his medicals. Dallas is out. They don't like. Based on what I've heard, access of 15 to 20 teams hate his medicals.
Ooh.
Because the Ravens went around and asked a lot of NFL doctors. About half the league hates his medicals. He will be a Raider.
Yeah, that's what I said yesterday on the K&K. I was as you know, I was on the K&K show last night, and I said the same thing. We went around, we kind of talked about predictions for where he'll be. I think he's in Vegas this coming season.
He's in Vegas. He's in Vegas because no team likes his medicals. No team likes his medicals, and it's not just now. There's an issue. If you've ever gone through a surgery, how many of you guys have gone through really aggressive surgery? Scoop has, I have. The early 2 months of aggressive surgery, because he got aggressive meniscus tear surgery to come back faster, basically to come back by week 1 of September. Yeah. It's really stupid to do a physical your first 2 months of surgery, or first month and a half, because you're not in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't trying to go and get cleared to play pro football.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's part of it. And so Mike Florio said this, and I think this is the most important thing to bring up with the Ravens situation. The Ravens, Kenny, the Bears are out. Their doctor didn't like it. No doctor likes his medicals. No one's going to take it. No one's going to take it.
We keep hearing about that now. The more and more that comes out, that a lot of teams don't like that physical.
Don't like his medical. And again, it's really stupid to do a medical 2 months after a surgery.
Yeah.
It's really stupid. And so here's the thing, though. The thing is, the Ravens are very culpable. Because
absolutely.
But here's the main reason why. Because Mike Florio is a legend for off-season stuff because he talks to people. he talked to an orthopedic surgeon yesterday, and I was listening to PFT Live, and he's telling Chris Sims, he's like, hey, look, it is the doctor's discretion how a physical goes. It's not like it's, when we go do a physical at a doctor, the doctor does have our best interest. He's like, hey, we're going to do blood work, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. In the NFL, it's not a thing. In the NFL, the doctor is only going to do right by the team. If DaCosta and the ownership called them up and say, we don't like his contract that the agent, because I think some of it is contract, we don't like the new contract the agent wants. Can you fail the physical? It's really easy for the doctor to say, yeah, I'm going to fail the physical. He has a meniscus tear. Now, the more intriguing part is the fact that half the league also didn't like his medicals, which means that the Ravens, well, first off, so here's the two sides of this. First off, the Ravens are really culpable because this is stupid. If you want to go win a Super Bowl, who cares about how his medical looks in year 3? You should care about how it looks next year.
Yeah.
It's really he was going to be fine.
And didn't they originally say that like when the news first went down that he was going to go there at first, didn't they say that they didn't care about it because they knew he'd be good to go for the season?
Yep.
They said something to that effect, but it's different when the player's in the bill for 8 hours and your doctors can go do a medical. You remember Drew Brees? Same thing happened. They were very confident in Drew Brees' arm. The Dolphins were very confident in his arm, bringing him in for a 2-day session. Very confident that they were going to sign him. The doctor said he'll never throw again. It's a very similar situation because that's the thing. You can say what Brandon said of like, we don't care about how his physical looks this year. But if it could be so bad that they're scared. Like if you're giving a guy a 4-year contract, like, year one matters. And that's what pisses me off. It's like, look, you can do a 4-year contract, make it so that the void year is in year 3 and save $50 million and just say, okay, we're probably going to be done in year 3. I don't know if the agent didn't want that. I don't know. So the Ravens are culpable for that because the doctor definitely did something. But again, the rest of the league also didn't like his medicals. So the Raiders also, I think, lied about his medicals.
Yeah.
And so both sides are really culpable here.
And that's why I hate the Ravens because they also lied about Jair Alexander.
I was just going to say that.
Guys, they didn't. You guys are misreading that situation. They did not. Because his situation was not, he had a knee thing. But the reason he didn't play was because of mental. Mental doesn't come on a physical. It does to an extent. But you guys being upset about him, the Jair Alexander thing, you're missing the point. The point was not his knee. There was some of it about the knee, but it was, as per Jair Alexander and his agent, it was a mental thing. He wasn't doing well mentally. That can definitely come up on a physical. Hell, I get depression, like long ass depression exams at my physicals every time I go.
Yeah,
that can come up on a physical. But when it comes to NFL physicals, they care about how you are physically. So I also think that the agent very much was like, hey, you're not doing well. And I think the team felt that way too. So that's the thing. Like, yeah, you can be upset about the knee, but the reality of the situation was that mentally it wasn't good.
But then if the thing is, we knew that he was unhappy even before coming to Philly. We knew that something was wrong. He wasn't in the right headspace even before coming to Philly.
Then why trade him? Then why trade for him?
But that's why, to me, I'm like, knowing Howie Roseman, he doesn't make that deal if they're saying that, oh, he's not right up here.
And that's fair. So the Ravens, you're right in that frame.
I still think in some way, shape, or form they withheld information from us. I still think in some way, shape, or form they did. That's
my thing though. Like, the Ravens are supposed to be this club that is so like on the ball with things.
Yeah.
And the last 3, ever since I'm forgetting the
Ozzie
guy's name.
Newsome.
Ever since Ozzie Newsome, yeah, thank you. Ever since Ozzie Newsome left, this organization has been a mess. They don't know what they're doing. And my whole thing is like signing Trey Hendrickson is a great move. And I respect the move, and I respect D Podesta saying, "Hey, we're going to try to get both of them." I don't know why you would get both of them unless you wanted to win this year, which again makes the Crosby thing a little more weird. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm Lamar, I want out tomorrow. This is stupid. Like,
If I'm Lamar, I wanted out 3 years ago.
We heard about that though, didn't we? Like when the Harbaugh was when we figured that there goes Pringles. When we heard that Harbaugh was basically going to leave, or we knew he was leaving, we all said Lamar's probably going to get out of there too. Like,
but that's
the thing that we've been saying that every offseason though.
But that's the thing. Look at the interviews that the GM gave about Lamar and the coach and Jesse Minter gave during Combine Week. They were like, "Hey, we don't want him to be at the offseason program, but we want him to be in the the offseason program, the early part, the volunteer quote unquote part of the offseason program." And they have to beat around the bush with him because his agent is his mother. So they can't do. So
I
they
always
can't
forget that part.
Because that's the or no, his mother, his like family's part of his agency circle.
If you're a grown man, especially a professional athlete, your family should not be tied to you in terms of agency.
I mean, your agent technically, I'm pretty sure as long as they get certified by the NFLPA, I'm pretty sure it can technically be whoever you want.
Jaden Daniels' mother is his agent, and she's PA certified.
But see, I understand. I get it, but it provides that conflict of interest.
I don't disagree with you there at all.
But it's not about the conflict of interest. It's the fact that the agent can sit in the table and go, "This is Lamar Jackson. I want this kind of money. I want these kind of guarantees." And they're in a holding pattern on his new contract. If I'm Lamar, why would I sign a new contract? Why would I sign a new contract if you're beating around the bush to get me the money I deserve, and you're doing all this on the back end, when next year we should have a team that should be competitive to win a Super Bowl? I'm running out of time. I need a Max Crosby and a Trey Hendrickson and as much as you can give me. And then the Raiders go, and I get it. It's money because the Raiders have to spend. The Raiders are giving Fernando Mendoza, at least defensively, we'll see what they do with the offensive line, the best defensive roster he can imagine coming into. And offensive line, but we have to see what the rest of it looks like. It's unbelievable. This organization is lost. They're beating around the bush with Lamar because Lamar needs an agent, and they're a mess. And now the rest of the league is looking on the Ravens and saying, "Hey, when we go to the NFL draft, are we going to trade for any of their players?
Or
Zay
draft
Flowers
picks for that matter.
Or draft picks for that matter." Zay Flowers, they've been looking to very minutely. They're taking calls on him. They've been taking calls on him for years. They should.
They should. But why would you? I mean,
why would you even make a move with them?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you're not 105% sold on him, for all you know, and I don't mean to make a stream out of this, but for all you know, you're going to make a trade for him, and 2 days later, you're going to find out that he's been embattled in legal proceedings for the last 6 weeks.
Or just take a look at the guy's highlight tape. The guy's a drop machine, and he fumbles in the biggest moments of games. Why would you want to trade for that anyway?
Because there's certain things that the tape can tell you, and there's certain things that just, whether it's the tape, whether it's the analytics, whatever it is, there's certain things that you only know by doing like the actual research, like the stuff that we'll never find out really. And that's why I was saying, like, there is, in a lot of cases, and you know this in the NFL or in any sport, a lot of cases when you're making a trade for somebody, you're to some extent relying on the good faith of the general manager you're dealing with. And
because sorry to interrupt, Scoop, because guess what? The deal isn't finalized until both teams call the league office and say the exact terms
Yeah,
If one term is wrong to the league office, the deal is off.
right. And it's why I said on the show on K&K yesterday that there are used car salesmen in the middle of America right now that I would trust more than I would trust
And
Eric DeCosta.
remember, that's the thing I said about the Ravens yesterday, or was it yesterday or 2 days ago when they announced that they backed out of this. I was like, they are looking like real snake oil salesmen. Like,
Yeah,
that's exactly what it sounds like.
Kenny's saying get rid of the tampering period. You know what? Let me throw this out. I'm gonna throw this out. I think that if I was the NFL commissioner, you know what I'm doing? Free agency starts the Monday of Combine Week.
Yeah.
Because that's when these guys talk anyway.
Yeah.
Monday of Combine Week, everyone's in Indy anyway. Let everyone go to Indy who's a free agent and get them signed. Everyone's there anyway. Who cares?
And they're all talking because how many times did we hear on the Pat McAfee show the last even 2 or 3 years of them saying, "Oh yeah, we've been talking to this guy, that guy, this team, that." So we know you're talking. You're openly admitting to it.
Even the freaking even the people who are on X who are like league affiliated, say, these teams have agreed to this deal, which absolutely was just first discussed at 12:01 p.m. Like even they are kind of nudge, wink, wink about it.
Yeah. And the NFL doesn't want to deal with it, just like they don't want to deal with as rampant in the NFL. It is at the end of the year, but the whole lottery and whatever else, like what the changes could be for the NFL draft, considering what's going on with the NBA right now. It's going to be on the table at the owners' meetings. Anyway, that we just need Monday. I know it's early because it's 2 weeks after the Super Bowl or 2.5.
That's not, to me, that's not early. The World Series, 5 days later, free agency starts.
There you go. One thing baseball does right.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's immediate. Yeah.
Yeah. Just let it go. It's unbelievable. Like, just let it happen during Combine Week. I don't care if do you know how beneficial it would be for an agent to like have their roster kind of set by the time, or sort of set by the time they meet with prospects, and kind of zone in on, we want this prospect or we want this prospect because of our situation? Isn't that easier? I know it's a lot for the owners. And if you want to do it immediately, how about this? The day after the Super Bowl parade, the Friday after the Super Bowl parade, free agency opens. Why is this hard? Like,
I just in general, at bare minimum, I don't understand why we have to wait a freaking month.
Yeah, exactly. And
especially when we know that trades at minimum trades are being discussed, like you said, at the Combine. So why
being discussed at the Combine? The agents are there. Every agent under the sun is there. They're talking about their clients, and that's the thing. That's the thing too about this whole thing. Well, let me retrain my thought here. My brain fog is still killing me, but like every agent's still there. Like, just let it go. Like, if you want to make it a week before so agents aren't freaking out, cool. But it's just like,
they're even
easier.
Talking. That we know that from previous years, we know that they're even talking during Media Row week during the Super Bowl.
Oh, of course they are. Everyone's there, but also that's kind of fair. But I'm kind of okay with that. I can live with that versus the Combine because everyone cares about the Super. That's the other thing I was gonna say. Have you seen what Did you see what the Chargers did before the window opened?
You'll have to be more specific.
The Chargers signed 3 players before the window opened. You know why? Because 3 teams cut some of their top players, and they cleared waivers. And they could sign them, and they did.
Yeah.
So they signed players before the tampering window, or before the tampering window opened, or before the league year opened, because they're allowed to, because players got cut. So who cares?
Yeah.
The Chargers made good moves before the deadline even began, because they were allowed to.
At this point, it just feels like the NFL is just pearl clutching because they don't want to admit that they were wrong.
Kenny,
I was gonna say, Rob, you know that?
I do know about this a little bit. This is something that is agreed to by the agents, by the teams, and by the league. So again, clear communication. There is I think there was some clause of some sort, particularly with Goddard's contract. I'm not sure about Njoku's, because Njoku is a June 1st cut.
I can speak on Goddard when you're done.
Yeah, so Njoku basically, there was something with his agent, again, clearly communicated to the league that, something with his contract, like, hey, can we delay this? We have a serious issue with his potential release with some terms in the contract, and they can delay it. As long as it's clearly, again, everything goes by this standard, clearly communicated to the league. That was clearly communicated to the league, they're allowed to. So there you go.
Just like replay review. Clear and obvious.
Yeah, clearly communicated. Please go, Scoop. Yeah.
All right, I'll field this now on Goddard. So basically what happened, first of all, you got to go back to, it was May 7th of 2025. You got to go back to the Eagles agreeing with Dallas Goddard, because we first, last year was originally discussed about what was going to happen with Goddard. They agreed to a restructured deal for 1 year worth $10 million. And what that came with was, a quote unquote void date, where there was basically if you hear about like if you hear about like dummy years on contracts that teams put in, whether it's for cap reasons or one thing or another, because we know Howie, he's one of the quote unquote cap guys in the NFL along with Jeff Ireland and company. What they did is basically they put in a void date. And we've seen this with plenty of guys where they basically say you're owed a certain amount of money by this date or you get released. Basically, we've seen it. I think Peyton Manning had it when he left Cleveland or Indianapolis. So anyway, that's what he had. And basically what you had this week, it was supposed to be, I think, Wednesday. And basically what you had this week was simply that the Eagles and Goddard's personnel agreed to postpone that date from yesterday to tomorrow, as they continue to discuss getting an extension done. Now,
and they're allowed to do that. They're allowed to because they clearly communicated to the league. It's allowed.
Not only to the league, but to each. I don't know what I'm doing here, but like to
well, that's what I'm saying. It was clearly communicated to each other, and then the agents and the Eagles communicated that to the leagues, so the rest of the teams know what's going on.
Yeah, the all parties involved were on the same page, basically, and that's what it comes down to.
So bottom line, Dallas got to come back, yay or nay?
Yes. Yeah. This means this means yeah. I know that Njoku is not coming back. He said that he's not.
Yeah, he said that early on. But now I'll say this. I don't know if I would have said yeah. Now I don't know if your question was should he come back or will he come back, but my answer to both is yes.
My answer to both is yeah. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I would have answered the same way going into the league year on Monday. But seeing the
tampering period, Scoop, tampering period is Monday, league year is Wednesday. We need to get this right. We can't confuse people.
Sorry. Going into the tampering window on Monday, which I'm gonna have to do this now. But going into that on Monday, I don't know if I would have given the exact same answer. In fact, there was brief communication that the Eagles were interested in their former tight end, bringing him back, Mr. Zach Ertz. That obviously that hasn't happened. But that was a brief discussion. I don't know how seriously that was. I don't know if that was more on Ertz's end or more on Howie's end. We know that one of Howie's flaws in the past has been he gets a little too nostalgic with his former players. But I digress. Anyway, seeing the way everything played out, seeing the way the free agent market played out, seeing some of the prices on the free agent market and on the trade market, I think if you bring him back, somehow the Eagles fans got this. Eagles fan. I mean, we're obviously known as one of the most all or nothing fan bases in sports. But somehow Eagles fans, I think, got it into their head that Dallas Goedert is now a bum, which I absolutely I absolutely reject that.
I have a question for him. Besides his health, because I know his health's been a problem. When he's been healthy, he's been a top 5 tight end in the league.
Yeah, that's been his only issue. I don't get it. I don't really get it.
If you're bringing him back as a either a 1A or bringing him back as like a veteran complement to somebody like that we bring in, like Brandon's boy, Mr. Sadiq at number 23.
I hope he comes in. I don't know why we re-signed Grant Calcaterra. I don't want that bum anywhere near getting any snaps this year.
He just got a 1-year deal. How
gonna-
bad is a 1-year deal?
He's gonna be. My guess is he's gonna be a TE3 that's gonna come in solely for receiving. I'd be shocked if
I hope so. If I see him on a run play, I'm gonna cry because that guy can't block to save his life.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. You cry on like every other play, regardless. Like I saw you.
That was me. That was me the other day.
When I see him in the game, I put my head in my hands. I'm like, this is gonna be a failure. The second I see him come into the huddle, I'm like, okay, this is a run play for -5 yards.
This is true. Although I also want to point out to people, I saw this guy saying this is going to be a failure when we were up by 28 points. But
because this is what he does. Leave him
alone. What did I say? Wait, when was the 28-point game?
There was at least
Denver.
There was at least 2 games that we ultimately ended up winning where we had like a 3-possession lead.
Oh, no,
and
Denver beat us.
I'm talking about games that we ultimately won. I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm not going to go back and do that right now.
Was it the game against
it was
LA?
Denver, wasn't it?
The Rams?
Bro, this whole season is completely like one blob in my head.
I don't know.
And about half.
Oh, Kenny had another Eagles Seahawks question that we didn't.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, he said, "Are you all concerned about the Eagles and Seahawks fans, or as Eagles and Seahawks fans, with key departures on both teams? I mean, you're the last 2 Super Bowl winners, so I don't know how concerned I would be."
Yeah, no.
I don't think this is what happens to Super Bowl winners. They lose their players.
Yeah,
exactly.
Who cares?
And I mean, I'll say this: I think Brandon would agree with me. The one I was most surprised by losing was Jalen Phillips. I thought there was a good chance we'd bring him back.
Until I saw his market, until I saw his number, I was like, "Oh Lord, not for that."
Exactly. But again, sometimes the biggest moves that you make, and I'm not going to say it's the ones that you don't make, but sometimes the biggest moves you make are keeping the guys that you already had. We did that move with Davis. We're looking to try and do it with Carter, and also think about what happened. Also, what do the Eagles need more of now that they're starting to lock up these guys? They need young, cross-controlled talent. They got tied for the most compensation picks because of the guys that they lost. So I'm not going to let myself be too concerned about it unless I see how we absolutely blow it in this draft. And if that happens, I'm going to be convinced that somebody drugged them.
No, it's funny because the exact thing that you said is how I feel about Seattle. The same thing. Okay, wait. Do you mind, Scoop, if we move on from NFL stuff? I know we covered the big stuff, but I want to cover so much more on FAH tonight when it comes to all of this.
Yeah,
there's just a lot more that
not in the slightest. The only thing I have left to say, Eric DeCosta is a fraud. All right, go ahead, Rob.
Okay, yeah, we'll get into that more. Okay, WB. Do you want to do? Okay, wait. Do we want to do WBC or Team USA and Tottenham, or do we want to do them together? Because they're the same.
I mean, you guys know that I'm going to have very little to say on Tottenham, to be honest with you. So
I want to see how you lump them together.
Because it's the same. It's the same thing. Tottenham and Team USA. Idiot coaching staff. Idiot ownership. Well, not ownership for a country. It's idiot coaching staff. Idiot ownership. Idiot players.
Yeah.
They're the same situation. Brandon, please tell me it's accurate, right? I mean, it's the same situation.
Right, yeah.
You guys can take it from here and run with Tottenham Hotspur. I just know that I'm gonna have nothing to say on that.
But do you see what before we get because we can start with the WBC thing and then get into Tottenham because I think we need to get into Tottenham because it's the dumbest thing in the world right now in world sports. Okay. Tottenham is by far, we have to talk about it here because it's the dumbest situation. Okay, really quick. So I'll preface the Tottenham thing for you, Scoop, so that you understand what we're talking about. So Tottenham, I didn't want to start with Tottenham, but I'm just going to preface Tottenham. So Tottenham is in a situation. So the English footballing soccer pyramid has 12 tiers in it. Top tier is the Premier League. So the Premier League is the big money, right?
Yes.
Big. That's what people care about. The Prem, right? Sponsorships, players, agents, Stadiums. Tottenham just paid what, $5 billion for a new stadium that the NFL was a part of. By the way, the NFL, their ground for their turf is there. Like they actually made a deal with the NFL to like have a year-round maintenance of a turf for their games. By the way, it is one of the most beautiful stadiums in the world right now. You can look it up. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is beautiful. It is. It's gorgeous. I want to see how much they paid for it. But they did pay like billions for it, right? Like I forgot how much they paid for it. But it's a beautiful stadium.
Yeah. If you want to throw them up there as a graphic while we talk about them later.
You want me to throw up Igor Tudor? You want me to just throw this man up?
I know you want to go in on him a little bit.
Okay. So basically, their ownership spent billions of dollars. I don't know if it was taxpayer money. I don't keep track of English politics enough to know, but they spent like a ton of money on the new stadium. They brought in, they sold a bunch of players in the January transfer window. They didn't really replace them. And Tottenham for the last 3 years has been kind of middle of the table. So middle of the table standings, middling, kind of rough, whatever, not great.
The team has basically taken a nosedive since Harry Kane left.
Essentially, yeah. Whoa. And Hun-Min Son, who's now at LAFC. And he's doing well at LAFC. Harry Kane and Bayern are looking really good, especially in the Champions League right now. They probably are the favorites to win the Champions League. Basically, what is happening is Tottenham is we're talking about top 6 clubs in England. So Chelsea, your Liverpool's, your Man City, your Man United, who's also struggled, Tottenham. In our lifetimes, we have never seen a top 6 club, a modern top 6 club, go down to the championship. We've never seen that. They are 1 point away from going down to the championship. And the teams in the championship, the teams at the relegation zone, Nottingham Forest and West Ham, are playing really well. They're getting good results. Tottenham's lost their last 5 games. They are in a nosedive. And here's the thing with Tottenham. If they go down to the championship, they lose about $400 million a year. Like $200 to $400 million a year, because no sponsor wants to sponsor you in the championship. Nike doesn't want to give you money if you're in the championship.
Right.
Nobody wants to sponsor you if you're in the championship. Do you think fans want to go at this beautiful ground to see you play against Lincoln City?
I'm going to say
no. No. So season ticket holders, all the players are going to go, because that's what happens when you get relegated. Players don't want to stay there. They're going to have to go. They're going to move. So the players want to leave because they hate it there. Igor Tudor's an idiot. He's been there for 4 games and he literally can't figure out his head from his ass for any reason. And can
we actually throw an image of him up on here?
Do I'm going to throw Igor? Can you know what I think is better?
Oh my God.
What's wrong? Did something happen?
Don't worry about it.
Pringles. Got it. Pringles. Can I just play? This is how mad English media is at Igor Tudor. He's been there for 4 games and he's terrible. Can I play a clip of Jamie O'Hara, former Tottenham midfielder, being mad at Igor Tudor? Because it's genuinely the funniest thing in the world. I found this yesterday because they're just making fun of him because obviously. And he said like the most English hatred thing I think I've ever seen in my life. And I genuinely died of laughter. Because it's like, that is the funniest thing. So basically, in the Champions League knockout stage, they put out a 22-year-old in goal who's barely played at top level for some stupid reason. And he got roasted because obviously he did. It was a dumb idea when they have like a 30-year-old starter. So he's yelling about that and Tudor and everything. So let me get to the point of this clip. And it's so funny.
Okay.
Let me see. Oh, advertisements again. Thank you, YouTube. Yeah. Jesus.
That's why I pay for no
I
ads.
kind of get it.
So,
Yeah, I get it.
When you get it?
What'd you get? What
bit
wants
did
to
you
be?
get of that?
Who wants to be a part of this? Who wants to be a part of this?
So throw
Mickey Van der Ven's a decent player. He's a disgrace. He's a disgrace. But he's a decent player, Mickey Van der Ven. But
One of the players who's not playing well because he doesn't care to be there, obviously.
Oh, okay.
totally
Okay,
checked
Brandon,
out.
you-
He does not want to be a top.
think Stu
He
get-
doesn't want
Sorry,
to be a
Brandon,
part
go.
of it.
I was gonna say,
What were you
Brandon
saying?
Ayuk.
It's Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, this is Brandon Ayuk, but everybody on the roster.
Everybody is Brandon Ayuk.
Everybody's Brandon Ayuk except they're not speeding.
Who wants to be a part of this? Mickey Van der Ven's a decent player. He's a disgrace. He's a disgrace. But he's a decent player, Mickey Van der Ven. But he is totally checked out. He does not want to be at
So you
top.
think it's okay to just throw the towel?
No, I don't think it's okay. But,
Sounds like
but it is a disgrace that the way this club is set up, the way this club is run, this manager. Who appointed this guy? Who appointed this
No,
geezer?
I've told you.
Seriously, he is a fraud. Honestly, I'd rather have a donkey in charge than have an Igor Tudor.
Okay.
Honestly, I would have more fun watching a donkey try and pick this team. What was that team he picked? What is that team? 3-4-3. Kinski.
Slipsky.
Kinski goal against Atletico Madrid in the first knockout stage. Are you having a laugh?
Jay.
So basically,
He's the English version of me.
yeah, basically,
That's basically the UK version of WFAN.
yeah, literally,
Oh.
and like, but he's such an idiot. He the manager, the head coach, Igor, like the best. You know what, Scoop? You talk about how the Pirates management is bad or the Browns management is bad, like the ownership.
Yeah.
So take that, like how you feel specifically. I know how you feel about the Browns ownership. Take that, Scoop, and times it by 1 million. That's what's happening at Tottenham right now. By 1 million. Take your anger for the Browns and times it by 1 million.
So
Because-
ultra poverty.
Ultra poverty for a club that's been that amazing. And it's even worse because guess what? It's not like the NFL where you get to go play in the NFL the next year and get the number 1 pick. No, you get down to the XFL.
Get relegated.
And you lose $400 million a year. And there's no guarantee, Brandon, that they stay up. There's no guarantee they come back up next year. They might go down to League One and lose even more money. And by the way, here's why I bring this up. This is bad for the NFL. Because if they don't, because they have that ground there, they have the turf there that Tottenham manages. If they go down, they're not going to be able to manage that turf. They're not going to be able to stay up. They're not going to be able to do anything because they're going to lose money.
You got to think about it. When it's the same in soccer, it's almost the same as like in real life. Like if you go from one job where you're making $200,000 a year, you have a nice house, whatever. If you lose that job and have to start over, and it's like you have to take a job that maybe that's like $60,000, you have to downsize. So everything's going to be downsized at
every level. You get worse.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at Igor
Look-
Tudor. Look at this geezer.
Look at the confusion in his face. Even look at this.
That I have not seen a British person that angry since I saw Boris Johnson yelling.
He's not
at the Parliament.
angry. He's
Oh
he's
my God.
puzzled. He's confused.
And he's Croatian, not British.
Damn it.
Uh.
Why did they get rid of their former managers just to appoint this geezer, as Jamie said? Anyway, so keep going, because this is the best way to explain it to an American audience. Can we please fire Aaron Boone? Yeah, this is the soccer version of Aaron Boone. This is the soccer.
I don't even have the comments up, and I know Jody Moncrief said that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Jody.
What the hell do you mean we? You're an Astros fan.
This is the Aaron Boone of the Premier League. But again, continue with
He
that.
looks
Brandon.
like Billy Epler, by the way.
Continue with the downsizing thing, because I think this is the perfect American example. It's every job you're going down, and every time you get worse and get fired, you go lower and lower.
It's the same thing. Or like even if you have like, let's say like you're a business owner and you grow your business and you think that you're making so much money, you need to upscale your business.
Yeah.
If once you upscale it, if it starts to take a hit, you have to go back down.
Right.
So So, and then of course you're taking a big hit on money. You're hemorrhaging money somewhat. All these different things. It affects your books and your bottom line, and then it affects your product. At the end of the day, it affects the people that believe in you, that have invested money.
For Tottenham, it's going to affect people who have been at the club for 30 years. They're going to
Yeah.
get fired.
Yeah.
That's the next thing I was going to say is like there's a lot of people who work for that club that are not going to just suddenly turn around and get another job off of name branding in 6 months.
No, or well, not for a lot of players who are good on Tottenham.
I don't even mean players; I just mean employees.
Even employees, like they're gonna go to another Premier League club, like they're gonna go, but they've built a legacy at Tottenham. They built families, they built a community. Guys Brandon, you know this. There's staff at Tottenham that we don't know have been there for like 30, 40 years. And they're not going to be there next year. Yeah, no, Brandon, Scoop, exactly. So these players, if they mess up and get relegated, these are people's jobs on the line that we don't even see in the background. It's unbelievable.
It's like
the people who aren't, these are the people who aren't making, 50, 60, 70 million or euros or whatever they
Yeah, you're not making 120 grand a week. This
is almost like with the Tottenham situation. This is almost like if COVID affected a soccer club. Like, remember during COVID how when people obviously
and by the way it did in soccer too. Like they had to change a lot of the. But yeah, continue. That's a good example.
But like, remember how like they couldn't pay vendors to show up because they couldn't work. There was no fans to sell to, and then so they had to cut downsize with the vendors. And some of those people have been working that job for 10, 15, 20 years. Those are people's second or third jobs that they did to support their families. They would lose that job. It's the same thing with Tottenham now with getting possibly relegated. A lot of those guys, because it's going to be less fans that watch, it's going to be on lesser eyeballs around them because they're not at the highest level, because it's the same thing with the MLB and the minor leagues. People will watch people will watch the minor league baseball games, but it's 10 people versus 10 million for an MLB game. It's no different with Tottenham, where it's like people are watching them now or watching them 5-10 years ago when they were still really good. You're not going to watch them now because they're in a lower level league. They're getting relegated. So people like, because it's like, some people don't understand. Like, and this is why, like, God, as much as I like relegation for soccer, I mean, and I'm a relegation fan for any sport because I'm like, my God, I don't want to watch the Cleveland Browns anymore. But
I honestly, if anything, I wish leagues, in order to be at like the top level of their sport, I wish leagues were required to have relegation systems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but guess what? You're requiring relegation systems. The same thing happens. If we had an NFL, XFL relegation system, that's how it would work. Because no one cares. No one's going to care about it.
Yeah. So instead of having what 70,000 people showing up to your football game, you're going to have 5,000, basically.
Yeah. Can you imagine that stadium, that beautiful stadium? I'll pull it up. There were people walking out their game against Crystal Palace when we because I was watching it the last few months. I was like, we're not going to talk about Tottenham unless they are like right there, unless it's like in serious danger. I remember talking to you, Brandon, 2-3 months ago, and I said that exact thing. I was like, hey, keep an eye on this. It's not looking good. They should be fine. But who knows? And
now we're pushing the panic button.
And now it's just like, and now we're freaking out because and that's why I was like, look, we get it. Like, I understand that maybe not a lot of people here watch international soccer, but you have to realize this is a club that we know is one of the greatest clubs in European football and European soccer, about to get relegated. That hasn't happened for Tottenham since the 70s. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, there's nothing like it. Like, I don't even. Yeah, I'll pull up their stadium. But that brings us to Team USA. I kind of feel the exact same way about Team USA, where I'm like, they have no idea what they're doing, and it doesn't seem like they care. that it's similar to me because I have the same kind, and I'm not a Tottenham fan, I'm a Chelsea fan. Same with Brandon.
Yeah.
Scoop, how is your club doing better than our club right now?
Well,
I don't understand this.
Well, I'll mention this because, of course, the first Newcastle game I watched in months happened to be the other day, where in the 95th minute on a penalty kick, we don't lose the game, but the game ends up in a draw against Barcelona when they had for like 20 minutes we had a 1-goal lead, and then I don't remember what the guy's name on the other team was. I forget his name. I'm bad with player names, but he, in the 95th minute, I'm pretty sure it was, kicked it and ended up in a 1-1 finish. So
yeah, by the way, but that's the thing. Tottenham and Chelsea and Liverpool's in a tough spot with Galatasaray, but they're gonna be fine. They're probably gonna be fine. We'll see. You are the only Premier League club. Your club is the only one with honestly a legitimate shot to move on in the second leg. Anyway, so again, really, really quick, I'm gonna pull this up. Look at how I'm pulling up the NFL thing of this. Yes. Look how beautiful this stadium is. Look how great this stadium is. And imagine this stadium being filled with nobodies. Nobody. This whole stadium being filled with nobody.
Yeah.
No people. They spent billions of dollars on this, and it's not going to matter. It's not going to probably. We'll see what happens. But yeah, what I say, and I don't even know if we need to play DeRosa's stupid comments this week.
I actually, you know what? I don't know if he's still here, but Kenny Kirkpatrick, Kenny, I love you, buddy, but Kenny has kind of been the driver of the fan bus of Mark DeRosa becoming an MLB manager. That just got set back 5 years. That got set back 5 years by what the hell happened the other night.
Okay. So here's my thing. I'm a firm believer in massive international competitions. It doesn't matter. Like, this is how England feels about soccer when the World Cup comes around, because they started soccer. This is how Americans feel. This is how Americans and Canada, right? You know, Team Canada, Canadians. Stupid. My brain
that's what happened last week when I called Brandon a Portuguese.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, my brain fucked killing me. But it's like, but again, and in USA, Canada will always battle for hockey, and obviously hockey is a Canada sport, so Canada wants to win. They want to prove themselves. I believe in baseball. I believe when we get to flag football in the Olympics. I believe in basketball. That I believe this in any sport. If you lose in a major international tournament, it doesn't matter if it's the WBC and it's only around for 2 weeks. And I get it. There are Americans with Italian heritage on that other team. I get it. But I'm sorry. This is Team USA. This is the best roster we've ever assembled with an idiot manager, an idiot bullpen. This bullpen stinks. This is the worst bullpen I've seen for Team USA in ages, it feels like. Let's be honest. And DeRosa came out and he said, DeRosa backtracked today. He went, I actually know what happened. Yeah. I just, like, we caught you. This is how mad I am. Pulling my thing. We caught you on tape. You can't backtrack. We caught you on MLB Network in the morning of this game saying this crap. And by the way, the players acted like we care. We love what happened with Olympic hockey.
And that's not what Tariq Skubal said.
It's not what Skubal said. Skubal thought this was like an all-star game. Where's the messaging? DeRosa, the players recruiting him. Messaging. We have to win this. We lost to man on the final pitch.
And not for nothing. As much as we love Aaron Judge, that looks really bad on him. That's really bad.
And I'm going to add something else. The players, the coaches, the analysts, the media, everybody, the fans, we all say we want to grow the game. We want to expand the game. We want to get. You are doing a shitty job of doing everything of the sort.
No, they are. You know what's funny? They are doing a crappy job, but we've seen the best WBC in terms of competitiveness in years.
But no one's going to know about it 10 years from now.
Exactly. No one. And that's the thing. I talked about this last week. Fox isn't doing a good job promoting this thing.
I will.
No,
I
no
will.
one-
I
no
will
one
say that people do remember the small moments, like they like, or not the small, but not the small moments, but the big moments in the final games. Like they remember Otani striking out Trout. They're always gonna remember that.
And then
Like
guess what?
that's
Everyone else is going to remember espresso home runs for Italy against Team USA. If we don't win this thing,
see, I hate. The one thing I don't like is them saying, "Oh yeah, you're welcome, America, bro." You are an American playing on Team Italy. What do you mean, we're welcome, America? Like,
well, again,
you
that's
are-
my point. That's my point. They're representing Italy. They're Italy. I don't care.
Yeah, Italy. When 99% of their team's American. Italy.
By the
Like,
way, speaking of that, this is what Scoop said about growing the game. Why is all the rosters American? It's not fun.
yeah.
It's not that fun.
You've got freaking like I forgot about this because I know their heritage, but I forgot about this. You have Dante Bichette Jr. You have Bo's brother. He's playing for Brazil. like my brother in Christ. It's like
By the way, that reminds me. Have you seen how much fun the Dominican Republic players are having right now? Rob Manfred needs to watch
I'll say this. I don't know if there's a country that is more infectious to watch in terms of loving the game and loving the sport than Dominican Republic.
Oh, it's so much fun. There's nothing more fun than that.
Did you watch them against the Netherlands after every like home run they hit? It was like a party there. Freaking everybody like play like I could hear the JBL and car speakers from a mile away blasting music. I was like, oh, this sounds like a party. There was one dude after a home run. I forget who hit it, but he's running back and forth on the concourse with the Dominican flag on his like this, running back and forth. I'm like, look at how much pride and how much they love this. Where is this for the U.S.? Why is nobody doing this for the U.S.?
And by the way, it's not just Dominican Republic. I make jokes about Italy with the espresso machine. It's funny, but it's passion. It's passion, man.
Yeah. The only thing I can come up with in terms of what Brandon just said, the only thing I can come up with in my head is like I don't in any way think that they're doing this in a disrespectful or an arrogant way, but MLB players are used to this level of attention. They're used to this level of one thing or another. This is the most TV attention and the most sort of all eyes on them attention that some of these players on different teams are going to get. So I do wonder if that's an element of it where they kind of just feel like where some of the guys from MLB feel like we've been there before, and some of the guys that are either not from MLB or are not like the quote unquote proven superstars who you're going to see on ESPN 47 times this year. I don't necessarily. Yeah, thank God. I don't necessarily agree with that if that is the mentality, but it is just kind of something because again, even if we don't agree with it, we try and shed light on different possibilities on this show. That's just one thing that I have in my mind.
Canada's gonna win because this team doesn't care. It's not because we should be Canada. I'm so happy they made it through, but Canada has a terrible pitching staff. But Brandon, you've said this for weeks. We played against horrible pitching staffs, and we look bad.
Like,
we look bad.
So between the Italy game and the Mexico game, outside of the little outburst you had in the last 3 innings, you were basically shut down for about You were shut down for basically about 12 innings between the Mexico and Italy game against not garbage, but compared to you, garbage pitching, guys that are in AAA.
Largely inferior, at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like
that's a good way to put it.
Like, but it's like guys, it's Bryce Harper, it's Cal Raleigh, it's Aaron Judge, it's Kyle Schwarber. Hit the damn baseball. You got this is quite literally the Avengers of baseball, and you guys look like Disney characters. Like
you guys look like Mickey Mouse out there.
Like I mean, I can't, man. And the worst part is especially in the first, what seems like every game with this U.S. team, the first 2 or 3 innings, they're going down in like 8 to 10 pitches. Why? What happens to these guys? Because these guys on their teams, their OPSs are all high. Where's the walks? I mean, the first 2 games they worked walks, but that was because the pitching wasn't even close. The ball was 10 feet out of the zone. I could take it for a ball and walk to first base.
Kenny's asking about Italy manager potential future. Yeah, I don't know how likely that is, but I think some AAA teams are calling.
I love how Joy is like, oh, we'll remember Judge striking out on the clutch. Well, that doesn't matter now they moved on. It don't matter if they get eliminated and he strikes out in the clutch. That don't matter.
Shane said this. Shane said this, and I was like, I don't know about this. But Shane said this, and I love it. Aaron Judge is just Lamar. He's just Lamar Jackson. He's a great player. He's a Hall of Famer. But either he can't do it in the clutch, or his team around him can't do it in the clutch.
Okay, if you're gonna agree, it's not all on him. Then I think that's a more fair comparison.
No, because it's not, because if I just said, Aaron Judge is Lamar because they're not good players in the clutch. No, because I think we saw last year Lamar's roster was terrible, and I think we saw last year this Yankees roster was terrible in terms of the playoffs.
In the postseason,
I actually think, I think that's a pretty solid comparison, because it's also, if you look at their statistics team wide over the last several years, regular season, the Ravens are dominating pretty much everything in a lot of cases, and similarly with the Yankees in a lot of cases at least in the American League. But then it comes to October, and they literally statistically, holistically speaking, over the last decade or so, are the biggest disappointment. Because I heard somebody talk about the Italy manager. Shout out Francisco Cervelli. He was one of my favorite players when I was younger as a Yankees fan. He can
absolutely manage in the MLB after this. Absolutely.
If the Yankees need a minor league manager at some point in the next year, I would absolutely interview Francisco Cervelli.
Yeah. I think he can go he can eventually be an MLB manager. That's how good Italy's been.
I agree with that, but I know I said minor league, but honestly, we just saw a manager who came from college go to Major League Baseball right away. I'm not sure he would have to spend that long in the minors.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And by the way, I thought that move by the Giants was really smart. I mean, the guy has.
I don't dislike the move at all. I mean, it's not like he came from a D2 school. He came from the best baseball program in college the last couple of years.
You're giving him a chance to build, because let's face it, the Giants haven't been the Giants in about 10 years. So
and they gave him full reign and a long-term contract. They're committed to him, which is good.
And it's also a very well-respected leader and baseball mind running the show in baseball ops and in Buster Posey. I like that we're also seeing, not just in managers but running baseball ops departments. I like that we're seeing the Buster Poseys of the world, the Craig Breslows of the world, the Chris Youngs of the world, guys who have recently succeeded in Major League Baseball as players, not just becoming coaches and managers, but becoming GMs and baseball operations heads. Pringles, can you please get down?
Yeah, I don't hate what Kenny said here. I just think but then everything you said, Scoop, and then the Team USA managers and MLB Network host. Excuse me? What are we doing? I just don't understand, man. I really don't understand.
The thing is, I like D-Row.
So do I.
As a baseball mind to talk about it. I don't like him as a manager. As someone
I could even see him as a bench coach, but I'm not trusting him leading a locker room now.
I can see him as a hitting coach. I can't see him as a manager. Put it that way. Just because whenever I've seen him do like hitting stuff or fielding takes on MLB Network, perfectly fine. He knows everything about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he actually played the game for.
I love the breakdowns that he does, both on when marrying kind of the analytics and the eye test. I love how he does that.
Yeah, it's weird. I technically know. Well, I haven't met him, but I technically know D-Row through 6 degrees of separation. So, it's funny, but because he's related to my mom's former boss.
That's so amazing. That's such a great goal.
So I kind of know him a little bit, or I know a little bit more about him. But so I've always liked D-Row, but still, man, like
I do too.
But like, he's not a guy that can juggle multiple things at once. Like, if he's
Oh.
just a bench coach, like if he's just a hitting coach or something like that, I'm fine with it. But if you're asking him to juggle so many things as a manager, it's just, and we just saw
Yeah,
it. He can't do it.
Yeah, I don't like being critical of critical of guys on here, especially guys that I'm a huge fan for whom I'm a huge fan. But for the interviews that he's had as manager, I can see why he hasn't gotten any of the jobs. And
Yeah,
and Kenny said, I believe he may have played for the Pirates as well. He's talking about Cervelli. Yes, he played 5 years for the Pirates, 1 year for the Braves, then 1 year for the Marlins, and then retired.
He just had so many backgrounds so much because of a lot of concussions. He just had a lot of concussions.
Yeah. He was. I still believe he would have been the successor to either Russell Martin or Brian McCann if he didn't get hurt all the damn time.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just pull this one thing here. He put Clayton Kershaw on in the warming up in the inning when we needed to win. He put Goldsmith out. Like, I just this team did not need to win.
That's what's even worse is that he said that they had punched their ticket early that morning, right? That's what he said. How did no one tell you? Because you had a lot of time before game time that day. How did no one tell him, hey? Because clearly nobody told him because he rolled with the same lineup he was going to since that morning.
He repeated the damn thing.
He rolled with the lineup that you would run if you clinched. That's it.
Yeah,
the entire lineup was just a punt lineup. Yeah.
I don't understand how there's not a single person either on that team or because like I said, that's on the players too. How nobody he even said, oh, they were partying last night because they thought they clinched. That's basically what he said, paraphrasing.
Kenny, stop. No, stop. I'm not going to accept this. This is not glorified spring training. This is the World Baseball Classic. This is the World Cup of baseball. This will not be allowed.
You're doing the Italian gesture. Here it is.
There you go. This will not be allowed. This is stupid. This is the World Baseball Classic. This is the World Cup. This is not glorified spring training. I want these guys in July form in March. This is dumb. People who I'm sorry, Kenny. I love you, Kenny, but this is stupid. This is dumb. We can't allow this. It's disgraceful.
Because you know what it is too. It's not spring training. In spring training, these guys like Aaron Judge or like guys like Giancarlo Stanton right now who are still in spring because they need it. Like those guys are facing single A, double A, maybe triple A pitch, maybe.
Exactly.
In the World Baseball Classic, you're facing guys that have either been on teams, guys that are already climbing up the draft boards and might be drafted first overall at some point. Like what was that? Contreras' kid. And or Lucas Ramirez. Well, Manny's son. Like you're not.
Yeah,
playing,
thank you. I couldn't remember his name either.
Like you're not playing some guy from single A. Some teams maybe like on their back and on their bench.
Yeah,
you're not playing guys from like now. Listen, do a couple teams in this tournament have guys who are plumbers and electricians? Yeah, it's not many though. One of them just shut Japan down for 5 innings the other day.
Yeah, and I'll say this, and that's why I tell you guys, in terms of spring training in particular, I don't take a lot of stuff. And again, even when I'm being very high on guys like Carlos Agrange, who I think probably is going to get number 107 retired because by then we're not going to have any double-digit numbers left to offer him. But even guys that we speak highly of, or guys that teams get excited about, no matter who it is. Even if you like the guy, even if you're excited about the guy, even if he's a top prospect, you got to be measured when it comes to these spring training things. And I've been somebody who, look at what happened a few years ago. We got a decade ago, Yankees fans will remember the name Carlos Yangervis Solarte came out in 2014. Came out hot as a missile, if that's even a saying. And then ended up getting flipped 2 months later for Chase Headley to the Padres. Was never heard from again. So you got to be careful with who, even whether it's top prospect or not, you got to be careful with who you fall for coming hot out of spring. The longest guy I remember truly showing up for the first time in spring and making a career out of it was Jordan Montgomery, and that was, I think, the same year as Solarte.
But again, this World Baseball Classic, the guys who are going up here and are pressing against Aaron Judge, Paul Skeens, that helps them a lot because these are actual big, like top-notch big leaguers that you're facing in the World Cup of baseball. Like people are like, this is what this should. The fact that Team USA treats like Scooble said, like a glorified all-star game is dumb. When Dominican Republic is out here having fun and wanting to win this thing, Japan is wanting to win this thing.
And that's also why you can't call it glorified spring training, because look at the lineups that are out there for the big clubs like Japan, like DR, like PR, like the US.
They ain't treating it like that.
They're first of all, none of them are treating it like that. They're all saying that they want to win this damn thing and they want to represent their country well. Hell, Aaron Judge has said multiple times that, hey, the U.S. men's and women's hockey team just won it all. Why can't we?
Paul Skeens has said nothing matters to him more than representing his country. Paul Skeens is, I think, 5 years younger than any of us.
And the best part
Paul
of it
Skeens
all,
doesn't care. Paul Skeens wants to win a World Series, and he probably will. But he would love this so much more because he's an Air Force kid.
Yeah. And the thing is, and that's what I was going to get to too, is that the storylines for a lot of these teams are way more compelling than anything you'll see in spring training. Those are young guys trying to get a roster spot, or the veterans are trying to work on things because they know that they have a month until the season starts. So they're trying to work on different things, develop different things. In WBC, you're facing a lot of major league talent, and in a very quick span of time. You don't have a lot of time for rest. It's all quick turnarounds. And so between all these different things we're mentioning, and like I said, like I was getting to with the storylines, is you have guys like a Griffin Jacks, Air Force kid. You have guys like I was saying, the electrician from Croatia, who just pitched 4 2/3 scoreless innings against Japan the other day.
He was an actual electrician. I don't remember.
Yes.
I didn't even remember.
Yeah, he's an actual electrician.
He's an actual electrician.
And he shut Japan down for damn near 5 innings. And so you have him. Remember, these guys are also older than the guys you would see, even if they're not professionals. These guys have been around the block, are crafty veterans, and hell, some of them are older who have great stories, who they could have went pro, but they had an injury happen, so they had to go get a regular job. They come into this tournament representing their countries, which they take a lot of pride in, and they go in there like he did and shut Japan down. It's not some 20-year-old rookie looking to get a roster spot after spring training. It's or because that kid knows he's got some time to develop yet. For a lot of these guys, this is either a good chance for them to develop, like the 17-year-old like Contreras from Brazil, or Lucas Ramirez, or this is some of these guys. This is their last shot to prove something to the world. It's not spring training at all in the slightest, and I don't like the idea that I get it. And I get why, people don't like it. Again, especially because if you're a fan of a different club, I mean, a lot of people are fans of DR, PR, the bigger clubs. But if you're let's say you're rooting for team Croatia or not Croatia, Czechia, or you're rooting for Taiwan, you're not going to win it. So you're not really going to care. But at the same time, these guys do. That's the thing is these guys don't care about spring training. People also, it's and also just on a basic level, if you strip away everything that we've said about this, just on a very base level, representing your country is for anything, no matter what it is. You could be the president of the United States, you could be an athlete, you could be hell, you could even be a teenager in those under 18 tournaments, the under 18 FIFA World Cup, whatever it is. When you represent your country, you are basically demonstrating that, hey, this is where I come from. We're going to show our skills. This is who we are as people here. This is what we do here. When you're representing your country, it is supposed to be with pride, with honor, with dignity. If they treated it like spring training, it'd be a massive failure, and it would be disrespectful to the country that you are representing because you were chosen to be here. Also,
And you could have, and if you didn't feel strongly about it, you could just decline. Or if you thought that you was a bad, you didn't want to, risk your health for the season or whatever, you could have just declined and let
and
someone else
some
have a
guy,
spot.
And
and some
honestly,
guys
that's what Scooble should have done. Honestly,
and like
And kept his damn mouth shut.
like Kenny was saying, ask Mets fans if they're not a fan of WBC when Diaz got injured. That's the risk he took. He wanted to pitch for his country. That's the risk he took.
and by the way, didn't pay for that. MLB did because of insurance.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of players aren't playing. By the way, I was talking to Brandon about this the other week on the phone, or because we were thinking, like, I wish that these guys could just play in the Olympics, but it wouldn't work with how baseball is structured.
Yeah.
I think the best way to do this, as Kenny said, is do it like the Four Nations face-off. Take 2 weeks off. Let the players relax. It kind of sucks. You can do like, for the players that aren't playing, you can do like a glorified like summer camp or something for those 2 weeks to keep them fit. But do you know how amazing it would be for baseball if instead of the MLB All-Star Game, which is glorified garbage anyway.
Yeah, we did talk about this. Yeah.
Do the WBC instead for 2 weeks. Do you know how much pub you're getting, MLB's getting going into the postseason with this?
And you know what I was thinking about too, because we were talking about this, was we said instead of making the All-Star break just a few days like it is, and then the guys get back to playing the second half of the season, a lot of those guys come back from the break and they come back and their swings have changed. They have to kind of get back in the groove after a start or two if they're a pitcher, whatever it is. If you get the WBC in the middle of the season, you clear out 2 weeks instead of clearing out a couple of days because you need 2 weeks to play this tournament.
Yeah.
They play straight through. They stay in tune. And on top of that, they come back. Listen, like I would love to clear out those 2 weeks in the middle of the season, like in July. Clear the 2 weeks out, play the WBC that way. But either way, whether you play it it's a good idea. It's still not a bad idea to play it in March. I like playing it in the during the All-Star break. If you clear out those 2 weeks, I like that better. But it's not a bad idea in March because players. Because this also goes back to the thing that Kenny was saying. It says not to start the season in March when players are trying to get in shape. This helps them get in shape faster because they're facing better competition. This gets them in tune quicker and gets them hotter for the start of the season. So this is better.
I'm sorry, Brandon, to interrupt. I'm very curious what's going to happen in 2028 because there are a good chunk of MLB players that have said openly, "I want to play in the Olympics."
Yeah,
in the middle of the season. So the MLB, and I don't know if this is going to be discussed in the CBA. I think the MLB has bigger problems in the CBA than just this. But I think there's going to have to be some discussion about what we do in 2028 minimum. They're going to have to do something to let these guys go because a lot of them want to go. A lot of them want to go in 2028, and I don't know. I don't know.
I know. I think it's too soon yet. And I know people, a lot of people, we like, Scoop and I are very much traditionalists when it comes to like, hey, we like the 162 and all that stuff and playing those games. But maybe that's where we can start seeing the whole thing of, they're going to play maybe 140 games or 130 games instead of 162 and have the Olympic thing be what it is. So you still get the 162.
Interesting idea.
Yeah,
I actually think that would be awesome. You get a prop, and that would be my hot take on Olympics. Eliminate the All-Star break, let the guys play through it, and then make your All-Star break. I know it's a little bit later. Just do the Olympics instead.
There's workarounds for it. I mean, it's going to take a lot of planning, but this is why they get paid the big money to figure it out, and we don't. But it's so there's ways of doing this, but to me, at the end of the day, the WBC is still important. I still take it seriously. Like I know a couple guys at TCA chat don't take it seriously, but at the same time, it's like they're like, oh well, like we're just waiting for baseball season. I'm like, this is baseball season. Really. And that's the thing is, I would rather watch this when the ballparks are selling out in the Tokyo Dome and in Houston to watch these teams play than spring training down in Arizona or Florida with a bunch of single-A baseball players. I'd much rather watch this.
Yeah, Kenny's right. Hockey takes a break and those players are just fine. Really quick scoop, I want to mention this before I forget.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my brain fog's killing me. But basically, I think the thing with the WBC, as I'm trying. Actually, go ahead, Scoop. I'm gonna get it. Just go, because I my thoughts are all over the place. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I can give you a perfect example of the the meaning of this and how passionate people are about it. 2 weeks ago on this show, Rob was telling us all about how baseball was the furthest behind and baseball's money sucks and baseball has the worst business and yada yada yada. He was all on a rant and a rave about that, and now a couple weeks later, Rob's talking to us about baseball games. So clearly,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
important. Clearly, it's important enough for people like him to still
And-
watch, even though they're still pissed at baseball.
And that's the thing that I think is fun about this. I'm a Mariners fan. You guys are Yankees fans. We're all rooting on Team USA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's the one time where Yankees Red Sox fans can celebrate a home run.
yeah.
We had Aaron Judge
saw
and
Roman Anthony. We
Yeah.
saw Roman Anthony getting a roll call from the bleacher creatures the other day. We saw someone. It was, I can't remember if they were wearing a Judge jersey and an Astros hat or a Yankees hat.
No, it was an Altuve jersey and a Yankees hat.
That was a mess.
So I'm like, that you might not have anything that can unify the country better than that, and you're just and it's just the fact that I really hope people will double and triple down on that, and you continue to elevate it and escalate it, because oh man,
and not for nothing, but just on a basic level. When when there's news breaking in spring training or someone does something stupid in spring training, you don't see it on ESPN. It doesn't go viral. When D-Row made that mistake on MLB Network, it went on SportsCenter the same day. It went viral throughout the night, and even into the next day, it was still viral. People talked about it. It was trending on Twitter. So WBC has a lot more eyes on it than spring training does. So
yeah.
So the WBC in every way, shape, and form, it's just not spring training, and it's a lot bigger, and we need to start giving it its proper respect. Like, we're freaking out, over it, but it's like, I mean, hell.
This is fair by Kenny. Olympics, yes. WBC, no. If we can make that work, I'm all for it.
Yeah, because the Olympics is gonna. That's a worldwide. Like, WBC is a worldwide stage, but Olympics, everybody's watching. So yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. All right, I have to go in 10 minutes and prep for our show. This is how insane this free agency
we've been on
period
for
is.
that long. Holy crap!
Before I go though, can people stop being upset about Bam Adebayo scoring 83, and can we just celebrate it, please? I know he had 46 free throws. I know the game was little. I get it, people, but it's 83 points. Can we just enjoy it, man?
See, you know me. I'm the get off my lawn guy. Like, where I'm like, it's easy for someone to drop 83 when you got no names in this league dropping 50 randomly.
But
that is fair. It's a fair thought.
It's fair. Although I'll say this, in any sport, and this is like, you're being very in your element with being the get off my lawn guy. I'm gonna be completely opposite of what I normally am here. And here's the thing: leagues change, eras change. I don't care if you're the NBA, MLB, NFL, Taylor Swift. You always have your new eras, right?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Crap.
But anyway, I had to get that in there. But anyway, so I think, and that's why I think this whole, I do agree increasingly that the whole argument for greatest of all time in any sport is at least a lot of leagues, not every league, but in a lot of leagues, is getting harder and harder at times, because just the leagues are so different and the game is played so differently. Like, for example, I think you could similarly make the case, like, yeah, you could say that it's a lot easier now to quote unquote easily now to score 83 points than it was a few decades ago when it was Wilt Chamberlain doing it. I just put the emphasis completely in the wrong place there. But
Fine.
I still
But,
want. There's only like 30 seconds of footage of that. I want more footage of that. It's somewhere. It's
It
somewhere.
has to be.
but I think there's also things that we watch in today's day and age where you could argue that some of these players, what they're able to do athletically speaking, or one thing or another, would not have been possible, 30, 40 years ago as well. So I think that it depends on what you prefer. For example, I prefer defensive basketball. So I don't love a lot of what I
So
see
do I.
now unless I'm watching a Celtic game, a 2026 Thunder game, unless they're playing the Pelicans, or something of that nature. Even though he's in our division, I freaking love watching Wembanyama. But on the same token, in football, I'll use another example. I love watching good running games. I love watching good defensive games. But I certainly can respect guys like Pat Mahomes who are able to basically throw the ball behind his back and somehow it ends up in a receiver's hand 60 yards down the field, unless he's playing the Eagles in the Super Bowl. but regardless, it's just I think that there's a way to both acknowledge that there are certain things that happen in some eras that probably wouldn't happen in other eras, but again, Joe Namath was considered a legend in his time. His stats would suck today. But the game was also played so much differently. So I think there's an important level of nuance there to with that conversation as well, where I think that, like you said, I think it's also fair to both give him his flowers and also acknowledge that it may not, it was just a different 83 that he was getting at than Wilt Chamberlain was. Because I'll also say this. He also, what position does Bam Adebayo play? He's a center.
That's where I was going. Yeah, I was going to say it's impressive that a center / power forward can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're not getting a big shooting 83, or not shooting 83. Scoring 83. A couple decades ago. You're just not.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're not.
That's so funny. Him doing
That is,
it.
I think, the longest anybody has not spoken on WTS since the show started.
Shane gave me some information that I have to attend to. Let's put it that way.
What's up, Coach? I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, I have to do some back end attention for the show today. I just got word. So it's an emergency situation, so I have to take care of it.
Oh geez, I hope everything's okay.
No, it's it's okay, but it's something I need to take care of. This is what happens when you do double duty, man. You get stuff.
Kenny says free throws harder to make than a layup, in my opinion. So is
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Go watch Seton Hall basketball.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, you can watch Seton Hall, you can watch the Pelicans, basically watch any team Scoop roots for, and you'll see how free throws are not as free as they seem. Yeah, and Rob, I think if Brandon's okay with this, I think when you step out, I think we'll probably just wrap up this show unless there's anything else we really want to get to.
I don't think there was anything else that I wanted to get to.
Well, yeah, because we got what Max Crosby and a little bit of football free agency, WBC, Bam Adebayo. They did a little bit of kind of soccer in there.
He had to, man. I need to yell about Tottenham.
And if people wanted more, NFL free agency content, obviously jump on with us later on to FAH. It is called Football After Hours for a reason.
That's why I told Scoop expressly, like, hey, let's take care of the big stuff, which is the Crosby stuff, and let's handle everything else later. We got other stuff to talk about.
I still have about 95% of what I have left to say about Crosby. I still haven't even gotten there yet.
Yeah, exactly.
No pickleball talk.
By the way, Kenny, you know what's funny? In my area, this is kind of like your. Oh my God, Scoop! We forgot to do the new segment. We got to do the new segment before I go. So basically, pickleball's huge. It started here in Washington. Drew Brees owns the pickleball facility 10 minutes from my house.
You're shitting me.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, Nick Foles was a pickleball champion about 2 or 3 years ago.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
I didn't even know that.
Okay, can I find it? Okay, so I proposed. I don't think we told you this, Brandon, but I proposed a because you know how we do the post-credit scenes for FAH, like a movie thing,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
I
I'm scared
proposed
where this is going.
I proposed I proposed to Scoop what the hell is going on in America segment.
What the literally
Like
what the hell?
yeah, like what the hell, like just Americans being America. That's it's Americans just being Americans. And my favorite one, so basically what stemmed this segment was because of the UFC. The UFC had like the most American thing happen this week, and it made me just die of pure laughter, and I need to find it.
Is it how bad the card was for the White House fight?
The card is really bad for the White House fight, 100%. But yesterday in the middle of later in the afternoon, the UFC announced that they're going to be working with the FBI, like directly working with the FBI. I'm gonna find it. The UFC and FBI did a joint statement saying like the UFC fighters are going to get paid by the UFC to train the FBI in martial arts.
Free bird intensifies.
Literally.
Like
I think I just heard an eagle screech, and it wasn't in Philadelphia.
I oh my god, I found the UFC press release for
Oh, there was an actual press release.
I found the press release for this. The press release is brilliant. The press release is amazing. Like, this whole entire thing is amazing. UFC and FBI partner. UFC and FBI partner for historic first. By the way, this has been in the works for 3 months because the FBI, Kash Patel, whatever the guy's name is.
Yeah, Kash Patel, the FBI director.
No, he knows Dana White, and he's like very impressed with the UFC. So he's like, "Hey, could we do this?" And so this has been in the works. UFC athletes will hold an exclusive training seminar for FBI personnel at the FBI Special Agents Academy in Virginia. For a historic first-of-the-kind collaboration where current and former UFC athletes will visit the FBI Special Agents Academy on March 14th and 15th. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this back-to-back image of the UFC next to an FBI logo.
Holy crap on a potato.
Dana White's statement: I have tremendous respect for the FBI and the work they do every day to protect this country. Our UFC fighters are this is great. So he goes, I have tremendous respect for what the FBI said. And his next words out of his mouth are, the UFC fighters are some of the baddest men and women on the planet.
There's absolutely no way I ever thought I'd hear the word baddest in an FBI.
Could you imagine pissing off? Well, I mean, if you piss off an FBI officer, you'd be dead or arrested. But could you imagine pissing them off and all of a sudden you get into like some sort of fight with them and they just break out MMA moves on you? Like it becomes a Jayson Statham movie. It's gonna become a Jayson Statham movie.
The best part about Kash Patel's statement is he says, "We will use this to help better protect the American people. Shared love for our nation, so we can better defend her." Yeah, Scoop, go ahead.
I have absolutely no freaking idea what's going on. But real quick, I just want to rapid fire the few comments we got because we also got Mr. Wiltsey coming in from the Hawaiian area. Kenny says, "Did you hear about this name, Curtis Lee Daniels?"
I know about Curtis Lee Daniels because it's the fishing guy. So this guy.
Oh yeah, okay. He added context here. Rigged fishing tournaments by adding weights to the belly of largemouth bass. He got caught because local residents said bass in the lake do not weigh 12 pounds, and he had 6. LOL. Facing up to 1P, I'm guessing that means 10 years in jail if guilty.
Yeah, that's also very American.
Yeah, it is. And then Mr. Wiltsey says, "Aloha, boys. Aloha, Mr. Wiltsey. I'm a very big. I am a very big Avalanche hockey fan." Why did I just say that in a French accent? thoughts
Can I
on
call them that now? The
Kansas?
Avalanche.
Oh my God. Okay,
And
Patrick.
then Mr. Wiltsey says, "You boys need coffee." Mr.
Okay, wait,
Wiltsey, I've only had 1 cup of coffee today, so yes.
Patrick, I'm gonna start this note. What was I gonna say? I'm gonna start this negotiation right now. The FAH crew, because we record so late, would love if we are your premium sponsor. We would love that, man. Can we have merch? Can we have coffee? Like and I mean, and this is gonna sound arrogant. It doesn't. We record super late at night. We record at a time where people in Hawaii can watch us. Would you like to sponsor our show? We would be honored to be sponsored by
That
a
doesn't
coffee
sound arrogant.
company.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know what time it is in Hawaii right now, so I'm just impressed that you know the time zone that
let me
far
see
away.
it.
Time zone that far away.
Yeah,
say
message
right
me
now.
message me
he
addresses
said-
for Patrick. Yo,
Okay, he said
yes,
Ryan Corbin
please.
says- Okay. Mr. Wiltsey,
Yes.
mahalo, Mr. Wiltsey.
Also,
He said-
cup chances
yes.
cup chances for the Avalanche, by the way. Cup chances for the Avalanche, very high. They're the best team in hockey.
90%. They're the best team in hockey. Yeah, we
Yeah.
will message you.
Although I will say, don't sleep on my guys in orange and black. Anyway, go on.
No, Jesus. Okay. representing the UFC will be an all-star crew of athletes, including Justin Gaethje, Jorge Masvidal, Chris Weidman,
Lord.
Claudia Gadelha, Michael Chandler.
What happens if
and
they
Michael
hurt an
Chandler
FBI
is
agent?
so crazy.
Is it?
Scoop.
At what point do I admit on air that I don't know a single one of those names?
Okay, Scoop. What you have to
Oh, boy.
understand. Oh, 3. Yeah, perfect.
That's what I thought. I thought, 6-hour difference
okay.
between here and the East Coast. They're in the East Coast.
If Patrick, if I will put your logo up the entire show. Like seriously, we would love to be sponsored.
Yeah, and we'll give you a shout out during the middle of the show, like DBR does with Ms. Hader.
Yeah, we'll make a script, and I'll read the script, and you'll get
ad
promotion
read.
on
Make me an ad
Spotify.
read.
We'll give you an ad read. And by the way, we're on Spotify and Amazon, so you're gonna get more
And Surge.
exposure. And Surge. We have exposure everywhere, man. So we would love it. Scoop, listen to me. Scoop. All of these
I always listen to you, Rob.
all of these people that I just listed, are mixed martial arts legends. If you fight any of these people on the street, you will die.
Yeah.
You will die.
Wait, I have a question. Actually, you know what? Let me ask you this question off air because it might be really dumb to people who follow fighting.
No. Ask it. We're here to help you.
Okay. What's the difference between UFC and MMA?
This is the same thing.
It's
MMA.
okay.
MMA is the sport. MMA is the sport, and the leading league is the UFC.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Okay. And then what's the difference between? Sorry, go ahead.
So basically, it's like the NFL. Football is the sport. The league is the NFL.
Okay. And then where does WWE come in? Or is that it's separate entirely?
So WWE is really fascinating. WWE is wrestling. It's entertainment, right? It's all scripted. The UFC isn't scripted. What's unique about it, though, is the WWE and UFC are the same company, though. They're part of TKO.
Yep.
TKO, which is a stock holding. So they are the same. They are currently the same company, but they do two separate things.
Is Vince McMahon? So he's both of those?
Not anymore. It's not Vince anymore. It's Triple H.
Yeah,
Triple H.
Triple
Okay,
H.
no, I know who Triple H is. I don't know his real name, but I know who Triple H is.
Patrick, I will come up with a script, and we will promote you starting next show.
Just cut my hand on this.
We will take care of you. I want to make like an ad read script. I'll work with Kenny and make like a proper ad read script.
Yeah. Thank you again, Mr. Wiltsey, for real.
Thank you. We would love to we would love for your coffee brand to be our presenting sponsor.
It's you know what's, and this is absolutely amazing. I literally just had a conversation with somebody about that exact topic a matter of hours ago.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. Mr. Wiltsey said Vince is out. Okay, yeah. I'll be honest with you. The UFC versus or like wrestling, like the names of either ones that I could tell you offhand. I know John Cena. I know the Body Ventura, because you guys know I've been watching his videos recently.
Yeah.
and I know Bones Jones because he's from my hometown.
You know who Conor McGregor is, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot that was. I forgot he was part of that. Yeah,
And
double Trump does what he wants.
and Ronda Rousey.
I can go so
You
far. I
should.
can go
Oh, yeah,
so far
okay.
back when it comes to UFC.
Is this also where Evander Holyfield was?
That was boxing.
That's boxing. Okay. That's different. Boxing is very different.
Yeah, he's the one that got his ear bitten off by Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know he was the one who got his ear bitten off. I do,
Yeah.
and obviously I do know who Mike Tyson is.
Yeah, that's. Oh, Holyfield's also a legend. Holyfield's a heavyweight legend. Holyfield's in the boxing Hall of Fame. And all
Is
that
Rob
stuff.
okay?
Oh my God!
Is Rob okay?
No, I'm
kinda
not.
glad I
I'm fine.
expanded on it.
Wait, what happened? What happened?
I'm fine with you learning UFC. We'll make you watch the White House card so you can see people get beaten up on the south lawn of the White House.
Okay.
But which is going to be amazing, and it's going to be so American. But the fact that you didn't know about the bidding, like who the bidding thing, that's bad. Like that's world history, dude. Like that's something you learn about in school.
I need to start clarifying things. There's a difference between I never knew and I forgot the name of, or
Max Holloway, baby.
That was the case. I think I knew and just forgot who it was.
And I will say, in terms of UFC, if you want to, because we're gonna get into combat sports more, but if you want to watch or if you want to get into it, I suggest starting with a lot of the legends. So guys that you might not remember or might not have heard of: Tito Ortiz, Chuck the Iceman Liddell.
Chuck
BJ
Liddell,
Penn,
baby.
Yeah, BJ Penn, George
Who's in
St.
prison,
Pierre.
by the way. BJ Penn's in
yeah.
prison.
I know
BJ Penn's in prison, but as a fighter, GSP, so George St. Pierre.
What league was oh God, the one who always is talking in the third person?
Who?
Money Mayweather.
Yeah, that's boxing.
That's different. No,
that's boxing.
God. That's really bad.
There's
I literally just said I asked what league he was. I just asked what league he was.
The thing is, there's another guy I believe in UFC.
It's a sport.
Yeah, they're like, because when you're who's talking in third person, I'm like,
Kobe Covington does that. Kobe Covington does that.
And The Rock and WWE does that. And The Rock does that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so there's a lot to unpack there. Fighting sports, combat sports, lots to unpack.
In case you can't tell, I'm not a huge combat sports guy.
There's a lot of great, famous UFC fights.
That's Randy Couture. The expendable star. That's what Mr. Wolfie's talking about.
I know who that is. I know the name.
There's a lot of really great historical fights just available for free on UFC's YouTube channel. I'm gonna send you a couple of those.
You're not including boxing here, right?
Boxing is different. Scoop. Boxing is different. Very different.
Okay. So that's not connected to UFC at all.
No.
Except it is because of Zuffa boxing. But we can't get him. We can't explain that to him. That he won't understand what that is. We're not. That's a later.
I don't think that's a massive difference from where I'm at right now. But all right.
No, Scoop. I'll send you some of the greatest fights in UFC. Oh,
also,
Scoop.
If you want a guy who's been a double threat, not double threat, but Brock Lesnar, WWE legend, also UFC legend.
Also UFC legend.
Brock Lesnar
the best part about the UFC is before they started. Scoop's gonna love this story. This is one of the stories that immediately went, I'm a UFC fan for life when I first heard, because I got into it in high school. I got into it senior year of high school. Kind of fell out of it in the ESPN. I'm kind of back into it now with the Paramount Plus era.
Okay.
Just Pat. Yep. Okay. Thanks, Patrick. No, but here's the thing. Here's what made me a fan of the UFC. And this is going to be kind of vulgar, but trust me, it's funny. Okay. So before they had sponsors, like before they had like sponsorships, like whatever, like right now, I think it's, what's the company? The company's Venom, VENMN or whatever it is. So, and then they were with Reebok.
I only know of Venom as like the superhero.
Yeah, no, there's a company, a really good apparel company called Venom. It's a very underground company. But basically, before those deals, the UFC fighters could whatever they wanted on their shorts. So
Okay.
so John Bones Jones originally was a Nike athlete, so he had Nike on his shorts. He had basically, how I'm gonna frame this is he had the Nike logo on his ass,
Okay.
like it was on his ass.
Wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
and the best one, because the UFC was so underground back at, because legislation, it was very underground when it first started. Like when Dana White first bought it, like they had to rebuild a lot. There's a lot of history that we're not going to get
Hulk
into.
Hogan. I knew I was forgetting somebody.
That's WWE. That's not the same
I know,
thing.
but I was just forgetting names.
Okay. Anyway, so basically, when it was really underground, the best sponsorship was they had Condom Depot on their shorts. They had Condom Depot on their
That was
ass.
interesting. Yeah.
That was amazing. Like you got promoted to buy condoms in the middle of two people beating each other up. And I went, this is a great, this sport's amazing. Scoop, I'm not kidding. Condom Depot on your shorts. It was awesome. It was great. I would put the picture here, but I can find a good photo of it, can I? I don't want to give Condom Depot promotion. Sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah. I was gonna say I didn't go into the show tonight with advertising condoms on the agenda.
But yeah, so that's one of the stories that got me into the UFC, because it's Anyway, that's all I got.
Alrighty. I don't know where to go from there.
Scoop is very confused. He didn't think I was gonna go there.
How could I have expected that? All right, Brandon. Go ahead. Open season for you, because I don't know how to follow that up.
I will
UFC's
say
great. That's how that's how I follow it.
If for me growing up playing like UFC Undisputed, like the video games.
Great game.
Like,
I love that.
I've heard good things. I've heard good things about that game.
Or for me, like one of the first UFC games I played was Tap Out.
not heard of
Tap
that.
Out's legendary, dude.
Tap Out, and I still have Tap Out
MMA game.
on
MMA
the
game. Yeah.
But that's how I grew up knowing a lot of these fighters, and not just that, but that I used to be when I was a little kid, I used to like combat sports, but especially when back in the day, UFC was a lot more star loaded than it is now. Like a lot of divisions now, a lot of weight classes now have like 1 or 2, 3 big names. They could have a bunch of different names in them. But back then, when you were talking about the weight classes, each weight class had like 10 big names in it that were always fighting each other. So you would see fights and then you could even find them probably on YouTube, I would think. But
yeah, I know a bunch of them.
But you had guys fighting each other, like especially in the light heavyweight and heavyweight divisions. But you had guys like there's the famous trilogy between Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz. That's what a lot of people remember, that because all 3 fights ended in a knockout. You've got guys that fought each other like Forrest Griffin for a time.
Forrest Griffin is the reason the UFC is what it is today. That fight is amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, hell, they used to have. I mean, UFC at one point was so big in terms of branding that they would even do. They even had, for a long time on TV, they had the shows where guys would train to become an actual fighter. They would have like those reality shows.
Yeah, it's called Tough, The Ultimate Fighter. It's still a thing.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Fighter. So they would have stuff like that. I mean, hell, they would even do UFC was even big that he's disgraced in terms of his legal issues. But Mayhem Miller did a show about bully beatdown.
I do remember that.
Yeah, I learned about familiar.
Yeah,
I've heard the history about that.
So that show, he was just, it was a little bit, it was staged. Some guys appeared on the show twice, if you paid attention. But he would just beat up basically average people or amateur guys for fun. But that was a show, that was a thing back on MTV back in the day. So the UFC, but that was when UFC was at its height, I would think. It's still big obviously now, but growing up, like my favorite fighter ever is still George Rush St. Pierre.
George St. Pierre, baby.
Yeah, I feel like I recognize that name.
Yeah,
he got into fighting because kids bullied him growing up, and he wanted to beat them up, which is such a great story.
And he became one of the
That
greatest
sounds like a
fighters of all
story that
time.
I've heard a few times.
Yeah,
And he became one of the best fighters ever.
legend.
So
He
If
sounds
you don't-
like the original. He sounds like the original. I took that personally.
Basically.
If you don't love GSP, you're not an MMA fan. GSP is one of the most lovable guys.
Let me put it to you.
Ever.
Let me put it this, his MMA record, right? Now remember, these guys only fight like once a year, maybe twice, so they don't fight often.
Okay.
But especially like for big fights, especially if they're title holder, they don't fight often. So he had 28 MMA fights in his career, 26-2. He basically beat up and in those 26 wins, he beat up damn near everybody you could name. That was a legend at that time.
Wow.
Yeah,
He beat up
Legend.
a lot of different guys.
yeah.
So
Well, that's all I got. I got to get ready for football after hours here.
yeah,
We got an hour, so we got to get ready. But that was great. Thanks for letting me rant about Tottenham, Scoop. Thanks for giving me some soccer time here.
Thanks for explaining that. I enjoy when I come on this show and I learn stuff from you guys. Like I always enjoy like that's one of the fun things about this show is like people coming on with like their own takes on things that other people wouldn't have necessarily thought to or come on with. So I appreciate that.
We are the only show in America outside of EAFC or outside of ESPN FC that cared about Tottenham, and I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any other show in perhaps the world today that talked about both Newcastle United football and WWE in the same conversation.
I swear to God, Scoop, if you beat Barcelona, I'm gonna be angry, man. I'm gonna be so mad. If you beat Barcelona next week, move on, man.
I can't relate to that at all.
I'm gonna be so mad as a Chelsea fan. Flipping Newcastle, moving on. We crap the bed against
but it's. I mean, we talked a couple of days ago about the apparently Carson was on. My apologies for missing the information on that or the his appearance on there. I apologize, but I mean, you're the one who helped me figure out. And we lost Brandon. But you're the one who helped me. You're the one who helped me figure out last week when I was confused as to why the season ended the way that it did either last year or 2 years ago for us, because we got absolutely wrecked in the pool stages.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. So I'd say we'll see y'all next week. But for those of y'all who want some football talk, you'll see us in about what is it, an hour?
About an hour, like an hour and 10 minutes. Pretty much.
An hour and 10 minutes. All right. Come back to us in about an hour and 10 minutes and enjoy some free agency and early off-season talk about professional football, NFL football. And we'll be joined by our mutual good friend, Coach Shane Hansen, on that show. So looking forward to having him.
I will say this really quick. I have to say this. The amount of times that you guys this past season and even today do double shows like we're doing today, the energy and the will it takes for you guys to do that is incredible. I admire it so much because this is not easy, and you guys did it for a full season. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. I'm so thankful.
I appreciate that you're you're doing as much as you are to prepare the second show. You also helped out quite a bit with setting this one up. I'm
a graphics guy. This is too much fun for me, man. This is way too much fun for me.
I remember when we first had that meeting with Kenny, and I'm not going to go down a whole rabbit hole here because I know we genuinely have to go. But I remember when we first had that meeting with Kenny, and you were like, he was talking about helping us get set up and whatnot, and you're like, I'm going to have a field day with all this.
Yeah, and that's why I go, because I literally have to make that show, and it's going to take me 40, 50 minutes, and I have to eat dinner and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to take me forever.
I have to eat dinner. I have to eat dinner too, and I have to go give this furball some attention. So we'll see y'all.
All right.
We'll see y'all in an hour on Football After Hours. Otherwise, see y'all next week. Same Scoop time, same Scoop channel. Scoop, Brandon, and Robert.